Hello, welcome to Top of the World, welcome to the channel. I'm Simon, this is my Volvo 2254 four-wheel drive 1970s tractor. I acquired this a couple of years ago and last year I did an extensive service, replaced, repaired. We still have an ongoing issue that I am about to attempt to resolve. Now I've got to tell you, I've already jacked this up. Much to my better judgment, I did it off film because I have no idea what I'm doing, and I do know jacking up a tractor to take the wheels off, bloody dangerous. Okay, so my junkyard jack there is not actually doing anything. Now, it has supports left and right. 1, 2, well that's a bit thin, Simon. Yep, it is. Thankfully it's not holding up the weight. What is holding up all the weight is these big timbers under here. That is holding up all the weight. But I got riggers on it as well. I've got an oil leak, yep, I've identified that. That is coming from that there. That is the old dipstick that's obviously been broken off and just capped off and it's loose and it's leaking hydraulic oil. So I found that, so I can tighten that up, we'll be all good. Okay, so the plan is, these are the original 1970s tyres and they're badly dry cracked. However, that is not the main problem. The main problem is the previous owner of this tractor, whose father purchased it new, sliced the tyres really badly in the forest. Really badly. In as far as one of the wheels now has a complete flat spot, and it's a huge flat spot. And it goes round and it gets worse, much worse. What that does is that makes the tractor do this at low speed, so you have to go slowly. As you go faster, it makes the tractor bounce left to right violently. This is constantly shaking up all the diesel rubbish in the bottom of the diesel tank and blocking the filter over and over and over again. I've cleaned the tank, I've cleaned the filters. It's almost unbearable to drive at anything, I don't know, above 4 kilometres an hour. So we have to do some distance in this. I've got 2 areas I've got to collect wood from before winter and during winter. Both of them are an hour and a half's drive in the tractor away. What's happening is, and I know from having previous experience with 1970s dry cracked tyres, they've got rope inside them. They're deteriorating on the inside. We're not only having these breakdowns and it's pretty uncomfortable to drive, it's also making the log trailer when full, right, start to snake. All these things can be solved with new tyres. Have I got new tyres? Yes. There are new tyres waiting for this tractor up at the tyre man. And I also have the paint because I've done all the servicing. One of the things I wanted to do was paint the tractor. So I'm going to take this opportunity, now I've got it jacked up, I'm open and outriggers on it to stop it from falling over. I can take these wheels and tyres off. I did tell the tyre man, right, he is actually fitting the new tyres and tubes because I've done so many of these now and the rubber is so, anyway, it's so difficult, right, he's just doing it. So for the first time since I've been here, I'm actually going to pay somebody to put some tyres on. But what I'm going to do is take these wheels off and I want to paint them before they go. While the wheels are off, I'm also going to paint inside. Am I going to paint any further? Well, to be honest, it looks nice out there. I have missed the heat of the summer because I was doing roofs. If you've been watching for a while, you'll know what I was doing during the heat of the summer. So I have no idea how to get these wheels off, how heavy they are. They can't be as heavy as my other big ones, but my other big ones, all of the tyres and the punctures I've repaired in my big yellow one, I've done with the wheels on the tractor. So They don't look that bad. I can't imagine that the wheels have come off for any reason, because they certainly haven't come off to replace the tyres. Anyway, you can see all of this in here, right? We're not doing a renovation on it, but we are painting it. So, now we've got it in the air, and we have got it in the air. Let's see if we can't get them off. I can't leave you alone for 5 minutes, can I? What have you done there? What have you done? I don't know what he's done, but I'm assuming somewhere under here there's one of those. But look what you've done. You've been digging in the floor. Why does he do that? How to attract my attention? Obviously, because instead of filming this and working on the tractor, I should be playing ball, shouldn't I? Obviously. So he'll put it somewhere, which involves digging, which means I'll have to come and get it and pick the ball up and throw the ball. Now the wheel is held in place centrally by this central hub, not by the studs. So you've got to slide the wheel off of this, then it will come off. What I don't want to do is when this comes off of this hub, allow the wheel to drop onto the threads, because it will damage the threads as it comes off. Oh, well, it's a bit too late to worry about that now because it's off. Right. Alright, how heavy is this? Jesus. Okay. Okay. How do you know you're getting old? Right, because a really heavy wheel, if it gets out of control, it's just, you're not, there's so many things that can happen here. Wow. We can properly see the state of the tyres now, and here's the problem. It's this one, and they're sliced all the way around, and that's what makes it wobble and vibrate. It's just the cracking so bad. It's going to be really interesting to see what the inside of these tyres are like. But yeah, this damage goes all the way around on this tyre, and that is the main cause of the problem. So the wheels are stamped. I've seen a date on the wheels. The wheels are stamped, I think, there, upside down, August 1979. So that's the wheel stamp date on that. So these have to be 1979 or 1980 tyres. And they're the originals. So I don't know how many years that is. Too many. So why did you go to all the effort of taking tyres off, Simon, when they could have been done by the place that's putting the new tyres on? Yeah, it could have been. Right. Which wheel is it? But what they couldn't have done when they take it off is clean up all this crap. Oh, and there's this one. Right, some of it's rusty on the inside. So now is a good opportunity to clean up all that rust and paint them. You see the rust coming on the inside? Rust on the beads. You don't want none of this. So we can clean all these wheels up, right, inside and out, and paint them. That's why I wanted the tyres off, so that I can see. There's a reason for this. So this over here is one of my Land Cruiser wheels with a brand new tyre on it. Never run, never used, won't hold pressure and hasn't held pressure. So before I left England, I had a brand new set of 5 tyres for my Land Cruiser. And the wheels are the original wheels, right, but the coating's coming off. Well, it's worse now than it was. Anyway, when the man took all the wheels off and put all the new tyres on, what he didn't do is clean any of the inner beads. And subsequently, 4 out of the 5 wheels that were put onto the Land Cruiser deflate. Because he wasn't a professional, he was an idiot. And he didn't realise that if there's any damage, paint, cracks, whatever, the tyre doesn't seal to the rim and it won't hold air. So, these have got inner tubes in. Doesn't apply when inner tubes are used. Does apply when I'm having new tyres that cost me an absolute arm and a leg and a toe and a nose and an ear to have those beads cleaned up and sealed and stop the rust. Am I ever going to see these tyres worn out? Oh no, I'll be long dead before then. But why pass that problem on to the next owner of the tractor? Why? So I want to clean them up and paint them, obviously. Not just where you can see. This is being painted on the outside where you can see. But this is the benefit of the use of the tractor. So that's why I've taken the tyres off, so I can clean up all the inner beads and clean up the wheels properly and paint them. It's a really good pallet. Right, all of them I've got them on. Look, all pressed blocks, which are going to give up the pallet long before the pallet gives up. It's a shame. Okay, let's get these wheels cleaned up then. So what I've done is I've saved you all the pain of hours and hours and hours of prepping these wheels and the underside of the tractor. Right, these are now ready for paint. They're lifted up on the blocks. I've done the inside, done the outside, done all the rust, treated the rust. Got the lights around there. Right, now I'm not ready to spray the whole thing. I'm just going to put an undercoat on the tractor and the first coat, undercoat on the wheels. And the reason being is it's Sunday. It's Sunday and it's nearly 3 o'clock. So I've been working on this all day. Okay, 10 to 3. Right, so why are you rushing so I'm going to get the first coat of paint? Well, you have to know what you know. Have I got any measuring jugs? No, can't imagine where they've all gone. I bought a whole load of measuring jugs specifically for this. What have I got? Yeah, not good. One suspects, because I have noticed there's a lot of new measuring jugs upstairs in the kitchen. One suspects they might have been borrowed. Anyway, we're going to mix up the first lot of paint and then set to and get the first coat on all these wheels because it's Sunday. Now I have to go to town to take the wheels to town to get tyres fitted, but I also have to go to town to buy some materials for a project I'm working on, and I need to do all that together. So if I have a reasonable excuse not to be on site tomorrow, that's one thing. I can have a legitimate excuse not to be on site on Tuesday because I'm in town collecting materials and dropping off my wheels and having a conversation with the local planning inspector, maybe getting my tyres fitted and bringing everything back, including the materials. Right, why is that, Simon? Because town is a long way and it takes time and money, and you lose a day when you go to town. Right, so let's get some paint on. Alrighty then, that's the base coat on. Nice, shiny. Oh, shiny. That's the base coat on. Nice. Not a renovation, just a clean up, right? Or light renovation. Deal with the rust, paint it. Dealt with the rust, painted. Painted. The big thing for me was doing everything in here, because this is where all the rust was. It was all up in here. As you can see, there's no rust. It's all been removed, treated and painted. So when I can get the wheels back on, of course, I won't be able to get into here or anywhere behind it. So that's the idea behind that. But it's everything's got a base coat on it. So tomorrow then, in the morning, if I can get back out here and give everything a final coat, then the wheels can go to town with me on Tuesday and get their tyres fitted. Then I can bring them straight back and fit them and then get that out of there. So the oil leak, it's a minor thing. You can see it better now the wheel's off. I've just got to tighten this up, which is where that's leaking from. Okay, right, that'll do. They're a lot heavier than they look. do is load them up, ready to go to town. So these have had 4 coats, everything's had 4 coats out, base layer and three subsequent coats. Hello, son. Are you cold? Look how he's shivering. Things have changed. Things have changed a lot. Okay. I think it turned out all right, really, considering how it was done and where it was done. Anyway, let's get these loaded up because they're going to town today, get their new tyres. How do you know when you're in the right place? When you see tyres like that. And that kind of tells you that you're in the right place, really. Also, when you see the words Husqvarna, Bridgestone and Firestone on the same wall. I get my tyres changed and go and look at chainsaws. I mean, what could be better than that? Anyway, I can't do anything for a minute because it's mid-morning and it's lunchtime. Anyway, there we go. But what a beautiful day. So this is to my local town, and it's quite, yeah, it's how it is, a small bit of industry, and it is only a small bit of industry. That's a concrete plant there. That's where they mix concrete amongst all those tyres and things. Anyway, we will sit here and have our coffee and wait for them to have lunch, and then they're going to fit those nice new tyres to those wheels. We can put back on the trailer, go back and flip to the tractor. Can't we, bid? Hey? Hello? Hello? Yeah. Do we have a little pot here? What do we have in this pot? I wonder. Goodness me. That soft round things that you like very much. There you go. That's your lunch done. Right. We'll be back with you in a moment. So, I have them back. I just don't know if I can lift them up. If I'm honest. Yeah. Okay, well they're quite heavy. All right, that's that part done. At least I thought I was done. While I was round this side, fitting the wheel, right, I knocked this. And I'm thinking, well, that shouldn't be loose like that. And then I looked at that. And then, well, what's happened here? That shouldn't be like that. That should be bolted up like this. So I don't know what's gone on there. Oh yeah. All right, well, that'll be that then. And right, so that's been MacGyvered together before. That's got a big nut on there, as opposed to if the bolt's stripped, putting a new bolt in there. No, they've just packed it out with a nut. Let's look at this side. Nice, nice. Right, clown. Why would you even, for something that has to do... Right, okay, so we got to find some new bolts, and hopefully they just stripped the bolt and didn't strip the thread inside there. Right, we can't do that today because I'm about done here, and I've got to get the van in and unload it from all the other stuff I got today, and then reload it ready for the morning. However, before this goes back outside, I need to do that because I haven't just gone to all this time, effort and money to make sure we can do a good few miles, which we've got to do in the very near future. We don't want things dropping off. So I've been working on this. Whenever I've had time this week, I'm kind of tied up with something else. And I really wanted to run it outside and show you the final where we are, simply because it's Saturday lunchtime. This is today's video. Whilst I've edited most of it, there's no conclusion. It's just raining. So I don't want to take it outside, which is a shame. Anyway, so I'm kind of hoping, albeit the light's not very good, you can kind of see where we are. Basically everything from there down and back is done. I put new bolts in to... Are you even going to be able to see it? Anyway, that's all now bolted up tight. The light's really bad. There's nothing I can do. I'm not taking it out in the rain. So, am I going to get to finish it? You know, it's a real shame. I've got the paint out. I've got the sprayer out. I've got the compressor out. Everything is ready for me to go. I am just really running out of time. The winter's coming fast. I'm stood out here now. It's cold. I don't know if I'm going to get this. I don't know. There's a lot of work to do with covering up the windows and everything, and I've got a few projects on that have to just be done now. I don't know. So I'm going to end this video here because that's new tyres on. That's all the painting done and the nasty stuff. I'm happy with the result. We have got to put this to work. So I don't think I've got the time or the temperature now. I can see there's overspray on the window. Never mind. Anyway, there we go. Thank you all for watching. Really appreciate it. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.